Hey everybody, Rhadamant here. Thanks for tuning in to episode 96 of Kenshi. So last episode, I was hunting for the elusive Mega Raptor, but was informed by, you are really far behind, Chronology, that this is a fight that bugs out often. Because the island there is buggy, sometimes the raptor is underwater, or so on and so forth. So that is what happened there. Unfortunate, sure, but I guess, believe it or not, predictable. That is a predictable result. So to satiate your bloodlust, I will be going to take on a Leviathan, although I'm not going to play fair. Mostly because Leviathans are scary strong, and I don't want anyone to die. I have no interest in trying to train up some additional people to take their place. Granted, Wike could quickly take the place of one. I digress. So we'll be doing a little bit of Leviathan stomping, but I did want to go over some of the tips I received. Ooh, another lifter. So one of the tips is coming from someone new, actually. Lyranium. I'm sorry, I screwed that up. But basically was saying that the surplus Meito weapons and all my other trophies really ought to be put into some sort of trophy room. Because otherwise I could definitely find myself accidentally selling it. And that is true. That is absolutely something I could be doing. Plan Pengu, stop eating from that farm. Eat over here. So a trophy room would be good to put, I don't know, let's say in this watchtower, this nice central watchtower. As you can see, my base footprint has not yet extended. I really can't imagine that I need to build much further, but whatever. Like I said, that's somewhat of a cosmetic thing. The staff that I have could go to Doc Chung, but for now, just so that I don't accidentally put my wonderful Meito stuff in wrong places or whatever, I'll just make a general box. I'll put it right here, and that general box will have the stuff that I really ought not to sell. Sort of the emergency stuff. Another tip is from the Max 1087, saying that maybe the Southern Hive isn't attacking because the Queen isn't in a proper prison cell. I'm not sure what triggers the raids. I know keeping her imprisoned, I think, is the requirement. But yeah, let's just make sure that I'm not screwing it up by putting her in a proper cage. Oh, come on. I can fit this in there. Yeah. And all the not all of the interaction spots are blocked. That's perfect. So very, very, very well illuminated cage. All right, at this point, everyone should be on dry land. No, Sadneil never start. Okay. I'm a genius. Sadneil, go to the soar. So we'll get Doc Chung, the Meito polearm, and we'll put the Queen away, just in case that is what is bottlenecking some more raids. Alright, put her in. She's still very, very well illuminated. Shrike, you better be making me better turtlenecks than you have. Frighteningly disappointing, the crud that she's been cranking out at me. Alright, Chung, you're all set with your own Meito weapon. I see it. Don't worry, all of you OCDers. I saw that this was dreadfully unaligned. I'm not going to say it's going to be... Oh, I overcompensated. It's going to be perfect, but at the very least, I could make it better. Alright, Shrike, what junk have you been crafting? All specialists. Cool. Alright, at this point, range should be on landfall. Perfect. And we were all following Agnew. And we'll go tangle with Leviathan. I'm very, very much... I'm probably going to range it mostly, because even with all of the amazing armor and all that stuff I've got, Leviathans are still super scary and will absolutely, if I go melee them all, probably kill one of my people. That is not a net result I'm happy with, so I'm not going to do that. Are we cooking? Yeah. Food cubes. Alright, so Aramid here needs to be issued the order of actual cooking. So cooking stove will be the priority, actually. And then Gohan, priority. And now that I have all the other rice farms up, I was thinking of putting some rice hydroponics right here. So I will put them in 2 rows, 2 columns, I guess. I don't need to add too much. That will do, I think. Alright, so for us to find Leviathans, we'll probably have to go most of the way, if not all the way, out to the Leviathan coast. Which means we have to go through Screamer Country and all that stuff. I'm not all that worried. And there's honestly no reason for me to do this other than the fact to say that, yes, in fact, I did kill a Leviathan. It doesn't really serve that much of a purpose. Bark was out here, what, for cotton? I think. Where am I? Bad Teeth? There is not a lot of industry out this way. Oof, there's like nothing. There's a general store. But Bad Teeth was pretty bad to begin with. Grab my cotton and leave. I'll grab cactus. And I'll grab electrical components. Oh, do they have robotics too? They do. And I can't even afford it. Nice. I'm actually kind of happy about that because I was worried that I was going to accumulate an insane amount of wealth and then never be able to spend it. So it's kind of nice that I'm not like a gazillionaire. And we'll get that constructed up. I'm actually surprised that none of the Screamers have tangled with me. I ran all throughout the Shrieking Forest and nothing. Maybe because Agnew's at the helm. And we all know what Agnew does. She just screams, just like them. Now it's possible I'll be able to find a Leviathan outside of the Leviathan coast. A little bit further south. I'm not going to keep my hopes up, but it's not a non-zero possibility. All these places, I'm pretty sure I've ransacked. Yeah, unlocked and almost certainly looted. I've done a pretty thorough job of doing everything that I can in the North Coast. Everything around here has been done. We got what was his name? The Meathead, you know, or the Cannibal Wizard. All those dudes have all been sort of taken care of. Here we are on the Iron Trail. And this whole area up here is pretty devoid of activity. You've got some Screamers and bandits and stuff, but that's about it. There's just not that much going on. It's like, in my opinion, maybe I'm wrong, but in my opinion, it is an area that was underdeveloped. That the developers realized that they had added enough to the game, and they never really evolved what was supposed to take place up here. Because this whole, other than the Cannibal Capital, this whole corner of the map really doesn't have a lot going on in terms of lore and whatnot. Unlike the South. The South, there's a lot going on. Well, I guess, I don't know, the UC Desert world is pretty empty too. Okay, I'm in the Leviathan coast and struggling to find a Leviathan, even though they're massive and should be easy to spot. Oh, there's one. Two, in fact. Three. I don't really want to take on a whole family. I mean, the smaller ones are definitively easier, but even the youngsters pack a punch. I don't think they come... I mean, they're pretty slow. They don't exactly come to the aid of each other. What are you, tech hunters? That's my bet. Am I right? Yes, I am right. Okay, so what I'm going to do is put everyone on hold. Take the crossbowmen and attack unprovoked the Leviathan. I will probably push up and start to melee it once it's harmed a lot, but I don't want to jump the gun because, like I said, I'm not really interested in losing anyone. As you can see, this thing can take more than just a beating. It is ridiculously tanky. And if you look at its attack isn't... That's not a good indicator of how much damage it does. One stomp and it can remove your head. I think maybe I'll have Agnew, who's probably the least likely to get one shot, go toe-to-toe, and you can see its true power. Nope. Yeah, that's just some quick hits, and Agnew's already half dead. So yeah, as you can see, it is not something you want to melee. Sadnil, you want to try? The skeletons are less likely, in my opinion, to be one-tapped by the Leviathans. As you can see, if I wasn't armored, that would have, killed me. I did 17, and the armor deflected 110. And Sadnil is a really good person to do this with because he has a defensive bonus and masterwork armor, and yet scary damage coming off this Leviathan. There's another giant hit. Alright, I'm not going to have Agnew... Oh, there's a big one. And another big one. Let's not have Sadnil lose an arm. Now, if you had, a Shek, let's say, who had a amazing set of armor and KLR robotics, head to toe, that might be someone that could go toe-to-toe with one of these and do reasonably well. One of the issues with robots is they don't have armor on their head slot, so as a result, if they take a head hit, it's not armored like a Shek might be armored. All right, already, yep, and it's downed. As you can see, one hit takes me down a lot, pretty significant chunk. All that you get from this is a Leviathan Pearl. It's not nothing, but it's not exactly a huge bounty of miracle. There was, one of you made a comment that you kind of complained that you really don't get much off of these things, and you're right. It should give you meat and leather for days. You know, sort of how the Inuit hunt whale, right? But nope. You really come up pretty short. Because there's really no purpose to it, what I want to do is reconvene back home and then quickly redeploy for more adventures. Now, as for adventures, Chromology and Ron both gave me a pretty extensive list of things to do. The first thing I might do is to start to side with the anti-slavers, because that will be at the very least exciting, and also doesn't require me to travel very far. So that's step number 1. Wow, when I traveled back here, I realized how developed this city looks. I almost thought I was in like Blister Hill or something, because it's pretty developed. So if we have hydroponics in the in this building, I'm going to put a well out here so that we can grow appropriately. Looks like I used all my green fruit, so yep, a whole bunch of food cubes coming out. Beautiful amounts of rice. And I could, if tasked, start making sake. Bark here needs to ditch a whole bunch of stuff. Let's go resupply Wike. Here's the electrical components and robotics. And then the other electrical components can go over where Chung is. He's diligently cranking them out. All right, Bark, then I want you to work on making the cotton farm. I could downgrade this cotton farm until the point where I can immediately craft it. So I'm going to downgrade both these cotton farms to be really, really small so that I can immediately start yielding cotton out of them. And then we can use the cotton to grow it in the future. So Bark, I will have you manage those cotton farms. And Bard, same deal. It's going to be at the end of the list, but oh well. All right, so you are trying to put away building materials, but I'm not sure why. Back to the raiders. So most of her wounds have healed up from the stomping that we received. And it looks like I'm low on food. I was pretty sure I stockpiled a bunch of food before I left, but I guess it was kind of a longer journey than I had fully intended to take. So we'll re-up our food. We're not going to starve to death or anything, so I'll just wait until I hit Blister Hill. It'd be awesome if you guys avoided water. Full knowing that you guys suck at swimming. So we have 3 out of the 4 hydroponic. This might be more rice than we need, but I suppose we can always... What else can we cook with rice? We could always make rice bowls. It's not all that food dense. The beauty of Gohan is it's 75 nutrition units, which is pretty food dense. Same with a food cube. So you don't forget rice bowls. If we just have a lot of extra rice sitting around, that's fine. Okay, that's a lot of hydroponic rice. Looking at my power usage, it has gone up a little bit. I still also have the battery charge to research. Who are you? You're baddies. Coming in and disturbing the peace. Alright, so let's finish off that research that I had. And we'll need a lot more books to do the battery power. But that will be like the last of the book research that I even have. Everything else at that point will be... Really? You stopped here? Everything else will be... Let's go to the Flotsam Village, so I don't get super hungry. Will be just AI cores, which we're going to have to get from the Ashland Domes, most likely. There's not a lot of other opportunities to get AI cores. They're a very limited resource. I do believe that, I mean, every ancient tech lab, like this one that I've gone to, it is a little random how many cores you get, but I think for the most part there's enough cores to get all the research in the game, but because of how difficult it is to get the cores, you have to use them wisely. So, for instance, I personally knew... Oh, everyone else is in a fight. I personally knew that I had very little interest in unlocking like stealth legs, so I made sure not to use the stealth legs because, or not to use my AA cores for that research, because it would be a real waste. It'd be a real shame to burn my cores on something I'm not likely to ever utilize. Whereas the speed legs, as you can see here, I will use a lot. Which does bring me to another tip I received from, oh boy, who said this? Ron Freeze. Ron Freeze mentioned that any of the specialist level stuff that I get as a result of manufacturing, I can use on my homesteaders to make them better and stronger at their jobs. And that's a very smart idea. So that scout leg, that specialist quality that I just got, yeah, I can... Alright, let's have Aramid look after these farms when he's idle. Those little legs that we had could definitely be used for a homesteader, and there's no reason not to. Alright, so I'm getting a bunch of motors, and then queue up a ton of robotic components. And then I ended up with a bad left leg, so let's get another left leg out there. Rhadamant's also walking home with a whole bunch of purchased bionics. Alright, Sadnil, you have weight capacity. Let's go ahead and buy food. They actually have a dedicated food building. Pretty neat. And some flotsam refugees and the like. And I bought everything I could afford. So we'll just have to make do with this. Oh, I guess that's not entirely true. I could sell the eye, but they can't purchase it. The weaponsmith probably can. I hope you have enough money. Where are you? Who's the vendor here? Y'all should make it more clear who I buy and sell to and from. Alright, we have a lot more money now. Well, all that food we bought disappeared. We were hungry. Bread, even. Why not? Make sure it gets stored in a backpack, because if it's not in the backpack and it's in personal inventory, you won't end up eating it. Alright, Ockran's Bane, here I come. Wow, there's a lot of water in these farms. They've taken good care of it. So Andrew Griffin, Chromology, and Ron all supplied me things to do and places to go in order to keep this series going. So thank you for that. And I'll be definitely tapping in on that list, the list of activities soon. So once we have our cotton farms a little bit more, like a higher yield, I'm going to continue on fabrics, because fabrics is also going to be a bottleneck of ours. Oh man, there's so many specialist grade. It's going to drive me batty. Oh, Pengu, you're in a fight. Oh, strayed paladin. Interesting. Still a whole lot of strayed paladins around. Hey, Airman, it looks like you're bored. I don't think he gets... Oh, no, he's losing limbs. I guess he was stripped. He'll be stripped of limbs, too. Not a friendly thing to do, but I'm going to do it nonetheless. So there's battery capacity, and it's gone from 72 or 76 or whatever. Up, no, 72 to 8100. Yeah, I mean, technically, I'm making more cleanup for myself by doing this to him, but I'm okay with that. It also allows me to kill them off so that I can throw their bodies away a little bit faster than just having them sit around for a long time. So there is an advantage to murdering them off like this. Although, admittedly, massively cruel way to kill someone. Admittedly. Allegedly, even. So we've got our left box... getting queued up, and our right box. So we have enough for one more lifter. And this other... Yeah, I'll just hold on to the scraps. Yeah, let's check back on our raiders, because I had a feeling they'd be idle. You are trying to find pathing, presumably. For food, though, let me do a quick check. So, we didn't buy a whole lot of food. We've gone through... No, it's not entirely true. We still have a lot of food left. It's just they haven't chosen to eat some more. I think they're regaling a story of drunkenly fighting gorillas. Something along those lines. All right, Agnew, come on. Can you find your path? Who are these? Oh, just skeletons. This is some jaggy path. Wow, it's even hard to use the camera correctly. This canyon is pretty grand. It's too bad these aren't like bridges. They're just decorations. At this point, I just want to get to the end of this canyon once the zone loads in. So, Mental note, avoid wind. Wind sucks to travel through. Molly, when you have nothing to do, how do I... I'm trying to figure out, Forage animals. Yeah, that will do it. So foraging animals will take their skins and pelts, and I will automatically bench them. We'll have a lot of river raptors coming through, and ideally, I don't want to leave the river raptors to... Okay, and then corpse haul and the like. I don't need any weapons out of her at the moment, and instead I'll just have her sort of maintain the base and its cleanliness. I'm not entirely sure I can even pick up his torso. Let's see. Nope, you're having trouble with that. That's okay. It's a gross task. Alright, we are basically home. I'm going to re-up my food, re-up my ammo, and head on out. Wow. Yeah, re-up the ammo. I basically shot almost every last bolt into the the Leviathan. And I might as well grab some of the random stuff that we have back home to sell. What I might do is I might just pull the trigger and sell all the frag axes. I don't really think that I'm going to do any mass training with them. But you know what? Let's take a quick detour. This farm, so the farm just east of us, we're going to see if we can't murder everyone and have them not come back. There's like no one here. This is odd. Maybe that's not where they sleep? Oh yeah, I see you. It's locked. Well, I mean, that's not a thing. Holy Nation are now hostile to me. That seems strange, considering I had murdered everyone. So I'm sort of curious. Okay, so they're back to red. Well, that actually makes it really easy, so I can see where they still have a presence. I hadn't realized that I had allied with them, or rather, had failed to stay hostile to them, because I never allied with them. Getting everyone home. Rhadamant will have a lot of parts to put away. I could very quickly. So this is the right box, or left, yeah, right box. I could very quickly just put all of the arms away, and then possibly modify some of the people that could stand to be modified, because we have enough for a lifter or an archer or something like that. Week A needs to work on legs, specifically right legs. Nope, those are arms. All right, what else do we bring home? Some bread. I will just trade. Why are these dudes eating my crops if they have bread on them? I don't know. Okay, making sure that our inventories are nice and cleared. We never put our pants back on. That seems foolish. Was there any... Okay, there's one turtleneck that's worth anything to anyone. And that will go to Hobbs, potentially. Yep. Alright, plan. Hop on over here. Let's go and get rid of all these frag axes. We do have a lack of money, and I acknowledge that by my willingness to sell... Pingu, you're slow, so you can hang out here. My willingness to sell a bunch of frag axes. So someone that has weight capacity for some more. Barely. These frag axes are quite heavy. Okay, that's all of them. There is some other weapons left. There's a Desert Saber and some katanas. I'm going to keep the Foreign Saber because it's edge 3, and I can't craft that. So everyone follow Agnew, including Plan. And Agnew, run to Bad Teeth, I guess? Bad Teeth probably doesn't have the buying power to buy all these axes. But that's not really my problem. Oh, we actually made an animal skin out of this. Well, if you can call it that. The skin did not come from an animal, though. So I acknowledge that I did not actually end up making anyone a robot just now, but that's okay. There will be time for that coming up. Okay, plans here. They can buy 2 axes. That's fantastic. I sort of figured that would be the case. Still can't afford it. I'm just trying to think, is there anything that I could buy? Wow, they can't afford anything. Okay, there is a weapon vendor. They'll have a little bit more money. Ideally, I would have Plan have no more inventory to sell off. And there's almost certainly not going to be anything worth buying. Okay, I'm not allowed into that building. The bar is not going to have any money, and that's it. I guess we'll head into Stack. Okay, so that got upgraded. Bard is being weird. All right, we'll just go have one continuous grow and 1 goes straight to XL. So we know where all the extra resources go. It's hard to believe there is no farming for me to do. Well, river raptors are seeing to that. Jesus. This is going to be a constant annoyance. Now I understand why... why the Holy Nation stances on river raptors were to just murder them. Because these stupid river raptors are continually eating all my crops. And that's why my farmers are idle. I think once I have some turrets on my walls, I can just shoot first, ask questions later. What the hell was he doing? I can tell you pretty definitively there was not a body left to patch up. But whatever. Alright, let's try to sell some of these. Your name is Horseweed? I'm sorry. That's awful. Whoever named you wronged you deeply. Unfortunately, I don't have use of any of these maps. I'll buy the rations. It'd be nice if I could actually get people to come to my town and trade. But that might be somewhat of a fat chance, so to speak. Just trying to buy some stuff to encourage the vendors to have more cash. Stuff that I might be able to stockpile or use. Like robotics, that's perfect. Darn. Cool. Alright, so now Plan is free to return back to Akron's Bane. Well, everyone else... I should have grabbed food back home, but I have not forgotten. So I'll just go to the nearest bar and buy some. I also still have some clothing left to sell. But because we're not, we don't have, wait, who's attack? Oh, some bandits. Yo, Shek, you need to defend your towns. Yeah, now that I'm not strapped for cash and I actually need the vendors to make room, doesn't hurt that I have to buy my own food. All right, everyone's all set. We do need to grab some ammo. That I have not forgotten about, because wherever I'm headed, I'm not exactly sure. I do know that ammunition is universal currency. And by that I mean it opens a lot of doors, a lot of opportunities. Due to the fact that crossbows are so unbelievably overpowered. What's wrong with Agnew? I was probably queuing Agnew up to, like, walk into a wall or something. Alright, we can put away the hemp and the cotton and everything else. Fabrics. Armor plating might be a little trickier because I don't think we have room for it. Nope. The leather we probably have room for, given all the mass amounts of, mass amounts of turtlenecks I've been making. Robotics would be very nice for Weekay. Weekay's coming back. Where do I make the copper plates? I make that in weapons? No, maybe in the crafting. Ooh, this does remind me that I need to start making regulars again. Or longs. I use longs. Which means that Molly... Well, Bard's really the dude to do it. Sorry, Bard. Massive change of job. That's a lot of farming for one dude to manage, but manage he will, I hope. So the crew is back. I just need to re-up their weapons, and then I can be on my way. So where did I forget where I made the copper bench? Oh, here's the copper alloy. So for storage, I might have copper alloy stored somewhere else that I don't remember. Let me poke around. Maybe I'd have them just in like general chests. There's no general chest there. Yeah, I do have some alloys here. Oops. There we go. Alloys will be useful when I need to make crossbows, so that's why I'm just buying them. I don't have any real ability to mine copper anywhere near me, or at least not a good node or vein of copper. So that's the sort of chief reason why I am buying a lot of copper and stockpiling all that stuff. So someone that has some weight capacity and space. Which is Seto. There's your meals. Now we get our bolts. Come on, guys. Stand closer. I didn't exactly fairly distribute these, but, you know. I can stick around a little bit longer to install... Let's see what I have to install. I can do some thief stuff. So, that means, Mew, it's your turn. Oddly enough, it's like the paladin ain't even there. And... Weekay should be making... Oh, yeah, masterwork. Legs, so we can do 2 people at once. So Mew, and who will be after Mew? Stubbs? Or Crumble? Is there a way to pick up this paladin? No. It's kind of annoying to have the paladin in the way. Alright, come on, weak A. You have no room in your inventory. That's a funny problem to have. Alright, so he's almost all set. And then Stubbs will be next. Alright, Miyu will get you some parts. Definitely rest up. A little bit of expletives here and there. It'd be cool if all of the crossbowmen were done. So hopefully week A will make another masterwork leg and we can get every single crossbowman all set. Which means we'll need no more arms. We have enough arms for 2 more. We just need another leg. Chung looks so funny with that giant backpack. Alright, done. Let's open Stubbs' limbs up. All set. And Crumble, I'm just going to get you right in there. Even though I don't quite have all the parts already. Having each crossbowman all set is pretty cool. Will be pretty cool. Yeah, this leg will be done soon enough. Oh, river raptors. No, you don't. Get out of my town. Well, Crumble will be most, like, half robot. So he won't be so crumbly anymore. So he has that going for him. And there he goes. Nope, that's not what I meant to do. So he will be 1 leg until we have another leg for him. But at least this allows his head, chest, and stomach to heal up so that we can sooner set out. Oops. And now we'll have 3 more sets of boots. Ooh, masterwork grade. There we go. And also a little bit more time to craft up some bolts, as some of our guys really didn't get very good bolts. And at this point, there's really no way that anyone could ever chase down my crossbowmen. So if I needed to kite indefinitely, I could do so with super ease. I don't know who needs repair, so I can just send them all. No, everyone else is good. Fantastic. Wiki is almost done with this leg. If it's masterwork, I am all set. It is. Sweet. And this is a good stopping point. So next episode, I'm going to let my crossbowmen rest up a little bit and then go on some adventure. So thank you all for bearing with me. That was, I guess we got a Leviathan. So there is that. But yeah, a lot of it was just sort of setting up. But a war with the UC might be on the horizon. So thank you all for tuning in, and thanks for your wonderful feedback, and I'll catch you all later. Adios, everybody.